morning. Hello. I got tongue-tied there. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Life with Patty. And I am here today to just do an announcement and a little bit of a chit-chat. So first I want to announce that, as you know, Kathy and I started last month doing an open collab. It's called Patty and Kathy's Open Collab, hashtag all lowercase, hashtag Patty and Kathy's Open Collab. And what we're going to do is every month we're going to give you a prompt. It's kind of like how Jovi does her open collage collab, which is not a swap and glue, but she does once a month. Jovi does a open collage collab, which I think this month is August history, and that's the prompt for Jovi's open collab. But Kathy and I are doing our open collab once a month where we're going to give you a prompt of something and you can do anything with that. And so last month was just the color pink. So you could do anything that had to do with pink, whether it be a tablescape, a flower arrangement. Donna made an incredible 4-tier paper box set that she made, all in pink paper with bling bling and glitter. I colored 2 pink mandala pictures. Whatever you want to do in pink. Kathy made, I think, a chunky charm. So that was last month, and the prompt was pink, okay? So this month, the last Monday of the month is when we do this collab, and that falls on August 30th. So you still have plenty of time if you want to do this. This is something you don't have to get an okay from Kathy or I to do it. Anybody can do this collab, and all you have to do is hashtag it Patty and Kathy's Open Collab, okay? It uploads on the last Monday of the month, which will be August 30th, and our prompt, our theme for this month is flowers. Anything you want to do. If you want to make paper flowers, rolled flowers, if you want to make a flower arrangement, if you have a flower garden and you want to share your flower garden, if you want to make a cake with lots of pretty flowers on it, anything to do with flowers. So that's a wide array. Anything that you want to do with flowers is what the prompt is for this month. It does not have to be paper crafting. If you're one of those that can crochet those little flowers that you put on hats and you want to share that, please do. I think last month in our pink collab, we had somebody that shared her pink afghan that she had crocheted. That was awesome. So anything to do with flowers this month. So if you're a crocheter and you make those little flowers, that would be something great. If you're a gardener, whatever it is, okay? And you don't have to ask Kathy and I for permission to do it. There's not a certain thumbnail. There's not a certain time of the day. However, it is on August 30th, okay? So I hope that lots of you will join us. I was actually surprised last month. I think we had about 8 participants. So it would be fun. I mean, it's only once a month. It would be fun because there's so many different people that could join in on this, because I follow so many different channels that even Sandra from Sandra's Pink Star, she loves pink, and she you know, if she puts something together for her, she always has an arrangement in front of her when she's talking to you and sharing. If you put something together with lots of flowers, that counts, okay? Anything with flowers. So I hope to have a lot of you join in with us for this next number 2 open collab that Kathy and I are hosting. All right, the second thing, I have a dear friend here on YouTube. Her channel name is Teresa's Craft Adventure. She is fairly new to our crafting world, okay? But she is friends with, I know, like Tony from Creative Chica Halls, and I don't know who else that she's good friends with, but I have become good friends with her. I think she's a sweetheart. I just love her. She has full bore COVID right now. So if you could all keep her in your prayers, I would appreciate that, because she let me know yesterday that she, you know, is feeling horrible. And so She has an oxygen meter at home, and so we just hope that she gets through this, you know, as easy as possible. So if everybody would just keep Teresa in your prayers, because she's such a sweetheart. And if you go over and watch her channel, you'll see what I mean. She's so funny. She's so cute. She gets so excited. I just love her. Okay. The third thing is, you know that every week Kathy and I have a collab, and it's called Tea Tuesday. And it's an open collab. Again, anybody can join in. You can jump in, you can jump out. Some weeks we'll have 20 people that will do tea time, and other weeks we might have just 10 or so, but it's been a really good turnout. And I was listening to Melody, and her channel name is Melody Made. And I was listening to her on my way back from seeing my husband in rehab, and it's about a 30-minute drive. And she always has great chats with you while she's crafting. And I love how at the beginning of her video, she will light her candle. And she does a lot of lives, so she talks back and forth with you. But I watch it on replay because most of the time I don't catch them. But she did her Tea Tuesday, and she is also doing once a month, I believe, on Mondays, where she just helps you with YouTube, period. Like, what does an actual hashtag do? What is a collab? How do you know that you are a visible subscriber? These are things that if you're new to YouTube and you need questions answered, go to Melody's channel on Mondays. She just started this series, but you can go back on her playlist and learn from what she's shared so far. She's very informative, and she's very, you know, wants to get involved in the community of us crafters that we have. And so she said that she had the question that how did Kathy and I become such good friends, and how was that friendship started? So Kathy and I have both been on YouTube. March will be 3 years for me, and I think June will be 3 years for Kathy. So I was on for 3 months before she started her channel. Kathy is all the way in New York, and I am all the way in California. So we are literally across the country from each other, okay? And how I first met Kathy, I had first started my YouTube channel as a budget channel. Well, that went right out the door because I was trying to be a budgeter, and I'm not a good budgeter. I'm not a frugal person, as I guess is what I want to say. And but I met a lot of great people even in that community when I was started out with that, and then I went more into the crafting. But so I was at that time when Kathy first started up her channel, I was more on the budgeting part of it, making my channel about budgeting. But I was very fascinated with New York City and just wanting to see, you know, I would love for somebody to have a channel that lives in New York City that just takes you along with their everyday life. But, you know, Stella did it for a while, and Fly with Stella. She's a flight attendant, but she's gotten so huge, and her channel is more on her flight attendant things. But she did take us for a while where Stella would take us just from her apartment complex to go to the grocery store, to go to Target or whatever, because New York City is so different from my way of living in Northern California. I've always been infatuated with New York City. So if anybody's listening and you live in New York City and you have a channel and you don't show your city or your lifestyle, or how you would probably have a ginormous channel if you would just show everyday life of New York City, like getting up in the morning and how you do your life, you know, like just going down to the grocery store. Fabulous Fatima does it a little bit, and she lives in the Bronx, where she shows she has to take, you know, a cab or an Uber or a train or a bus or something, and she finally just bought a car. But a lot of people don't have options to buy cars. If you're listening and you live in New York City, start a channel on everyday life of New York City, going to work from your apartment complex, going shopping from your apartment complex, what do kids do in New York City? You live in a high-rise building. Where do your kids go to play? When my kids were growing up, I'd tell them, go outside in the backyard and play. My son, his kids all go out in their backyards and play. You know, all my sons, their kids have big backyards. What do you do in New York City? I'm getting so off track from what I'm talking about. But that's my reasoning. I've never been to New York City, which I want to go. I hope I'm going to go with my brother next June, and I'm going to meet up with Kathy hopefully if I go. But Kathy lives in upstate New York. But okay, so back on track with Kathy. At that time in my channel, I was very infatuated with New York, which I still am. And so I had just put in the search bar, living in New York City. Well, Kathy happened to be visiting New York City, and Kathy's channel is Kathy's Favorite Things. So at that time, I believe I was Kathy's 15th subscriber, okay, to join in on her channel. And she just showed all these different places that they went in New York City to music, though she wasn't talking or anything. She just showed all these different videos of where they had gone. And I thought that was really interesting. So I subscribed to her, and I would, you know, comment, oh, that's so beautiful. And she would always comment right back. And then she subscribed to my channel. And then I don't know how either one of us, so Kathy, maybe, I started doing haul videos. I started doing walking videos with my exercising. I did some cooking videos. And Kathy was doing some haul videos. And somehow, and I honestly don't know how it happened, but we both fell into the crafting world. Now, Kathy's one of these that she's done cake decorating. She's done a lot of baking. So have I. I've done cake decorating. I've done baking. I've done crafting in the past, but I've never really done paper crafting other than scrapbooking. And somehow, some way, I think it might have been that I started following Judy from My Scrapbook Life and Sheila from Country Girls First, and they were doing, oh, and I know it was Linda's Thrifty Life, because there we go, there was another one, because Linda was kind of doing a budgeting channel, but she has gone off to now doing more of crafting. But I was watching Linda, and she was doing pocket letters, and I had no clue what pocket letters were. So I learned from Linda. So that put me kind of into the crafting world. And then Kathy somehow got into that same world. And I don't know if it was from watching me or somebody else, but we started exchanging like pocket letters and Memorydex cards and ATC cards. And then I was having problems putting in links and thumbnails, all that kind of stuff. So Kathy was trying to explain it through email. And so she finally said to me, do you feel comfortable to give me your phone number and I can text you? Because it will be easier for me to explain it to you through text and that. So I did. And our friendship just kind of took off from there. So then my husband became very sick and was in the hospital for over 40 days, for 40 days. And Kathy is an RN nurse. And so she did have my cell phone number. So she started texting me every day how Rick was. And, you know, it could have even been Tony from Creative Chica Hauls, because she was a haul channel that could have binded us together. I'm really not sure. But through YouTube, through paper crafting, but we originally found each other just from me searching New York City. And that's how I found Kathy, and then she subbed back to me. And then from helping me with something on my phone for the YouTube studio, she got my cell phone number, then I have hers, of course. And then we just kind of started sparring back and forth. And the rest is history. I feel like we've become such close friends. And Karen Luke, she lives in British Columbia, I believe, and she lives in Wales. Karen Luke lives in Wales. And another mutual friend to us, Karen, is a lawyer, and she's an active lawyer. And she asked us, have you guys ever met in person? And no, we have not. We have not met in person yet. But we hope to do that next June when I go to New York with my brother to the Westminster Dog Show. So her intention, she was going to fly out here this year, and we were going to do a retreat in Sacramento at the Cal Expo at the State Fair for paper crafting, but it got canceled from COVID. I'm going to take a sip of my soda. And then she's been having health issues. Her family's been having health issues. Her father is sick, and Kathy's from Chile. And so, you know, of course, your first priority is going to be to go visit your family, not your YouTube friends, you know? And that's okay, because my first priority was to get to Montana to visit my son, which I just got back from. So, you know, I hope and pray for Kathy that she gets to go see her father soon. And that's the most important thing. And so, you know, we still have to work out some things, and it might be easier for me to be going there because she has Augustin, and like she says, he goes everywhere with her. And so it might not be as easy for her to come out here unless her husband was to come with her and be with Augustin if we were to go to a crafting retreat or something like that. And I have a very small farmhouse, you know, so our plan now is to meet in New York City because she's a few hours from New York City. She's very familiar with New York City, which is awesome. My brother will be forever happy because he won't have to have me attached to his hip. And hopefully Kathy will meet us out there, and she'll either come by herself or she'll come with her husband and Augustin, and they'll get a hotel room and I'll have a hotel room, and we'll go watch my brother at the dog show, and then we'll, you know, also meet up and do things together, and that will be great. So that is how Kathy and I met. So I have some California friends here that I'm going to meet up with hopefully soon, and that's Kim from Kim's Inspired Life, and Liana from It's a Deal, and the other one was, is it Teresa? Teresa 01? Is it Teresa or is it, I don't know, but, and she lives in San Jose. So hopefully we can all get together in a mutual spot, maybe Lodi or something, and meet up, and that would be fun. But Melody, that is how Kathy and I met. And we've just become great friends. And yeah, I text to her every day, probably. If we don't text for 2 days, we're like, what the heck's going on? So anyways, so that's my story, and that's my announcement about our open collab on August 30th, Bean Flowers. And everybody say a prayer for sweet Teresa, because I'm hoping that her COVID is not too bad and she can recover quickly. So, all right, you guys, that was my chat session for today. So you guys all have a great day, take care, and I'll see you back here real soon. Bye-bye.